to actually look good on a night out. First things first, legs isn't going to contribute to looking good. Legs and abs as well aren't going to make a difference on a night out. And when I say night out, I'm talking about like going out in regular everyday clothes, like a t-shirt or cargos or something like that. I'm not talking about how to look good when you're at the beach or like Ibiza type settings, because then in a case like that, then abs and legs would make a difference. But here I'm mostly talking like everyday night out, like quick one down to the pub with the boys or whatever it is you do, right? So essentially this video is what muscles to focus on to make yourself look good in clothes, basically. So we've mentioned that legs and abs aren't really gonna make a difference. So what will? Upper body. Upper body growth will make a difference, but within upper body, there's some specific areas that must be developed and that can't afford to slack if you want to maximize your looks. So in this video, we'll talk about those areas, I'll give you some tips on how to build them and key things you should know. And then if a part 2 is needed with more detail, for example, you know, the exact sets, reps, etc., then that can be done as well. Just comment down below if you want to see that. So the first thing is, if you're trying to maximize your looks, ideally you'd want to wear a t-shirt. Baggy clothes or like hoodies and long sleeves, they hide the physique. And we know this, right? This is common sense. Like obviously it hides the physique. And so if you want to maximize your looks, t-shirts would be your best friend because they grip tight. They're the most revealing. Yeah, the most revealing and the least covering up-ish. It's not even a word. And they show a large portion of the arm, with the arms being the first muscle on this list or in this list of things you should develop. Arms are essential, and it's cliche and it's the classic, like, you know, no wonder bodybuilders only train chest and arms because they want to look good. It's true though. Arms really do make a difference in how you look in clothes. More specifically on the arms though, let's talk about the biceps first. The bicep long head would make a difference. Now, growing your bicep overall will make a difference, right? If you don't want to focus on, you know, long head or short head or whatever, if you don't even know what those are, then don't worry. Just getting bigger biceps will help. But if we're gonna go in detail here, growing the bicep long head would help the most in clothes because the long head is the one responsible for making the bicep look thicker. Or let me say it like this. It's more responsible for making the bicep look thicker than the bicep short head. The short head part of the bicep is the part responsible for the peak. That's what's gonna make the peak look good. And although the peak is wanted, because you don't walk around like this on a night out, the peak isn't really gonna be on show. Or the effects of the peak will be slightly muted on a night out because, you know, it's not a fucking bodybuilding competition, like you're not walking around like that. And so I think it's more important to focus on the bicep long head than the peak. So how does one do that? First is hammer curls. You want to incorporate some form of hammer curls in your bicep training. So this can be as simple as, since you're going to be training biceps twice a week, since to grow a muscle, you've got to train it twice a week. What you can do is one day, any curl variation you want, you know, preacher curl, something for the short head, and then another day, do some sort of hammer curl. Or even, here's a better solution, not solution, but here's a better suggestion. Any drop set work you do for biceps, do the drop set with hammers. So if you do regular curls like this, then when you go into drop set with a lighter weight, don't carry on doing curls like this. Do hammer curls with the neutral grip to work more of that bicep long head and to get a bit more forearm, because the forearm is also a muscle that will contribute very much to how you look. And I've actually made a whole video on forearms here, so check that out after. I don't want to go into too much detail now. So hammer curls will be your best friend, and lengthen bicep exercises. So incline curls. And what you can even do, if you want to max out your stats here, incline hammer curls. That is a way to really get the long head activated, and that's a way to really make your arm look thicker and better in everyday life when your arms and hands are just down by your side. Now, the next part of the arm we're going to talk about is a tricep. And the tricep has 3 heads: the lateral head, the medial head, and the long head. And the part that you want to focus on, although you're going to grow your tricep as a whole, right? We're not going to isolate one particular head, which you can't do anyway. But the one particular part we're going to focus on a little bit more than the rest is the tricep long head. And this is activated with any sort of overhead movement. So when you do anything overhead, or even if you're laying on a bench and you and your arms go behind your head, as in the clips you're seeing now, this will primarily give us that really big stretch, which will primarily work the tricep long head. Now, the reason the tricep long head plays the biggest role in how your tricep look is because it's the biggest of the 3 heads, and it's like that meaty part that hangs. And so if you can get the meat that hangs to be big, then your arm will look big.
What did he say?
So in terms of triceps, grow triceps as a whole, but focus on overhead movements that stretch out the tricep. Now I mentioned forearms as well, and they will contribute a lot to how you look. I have actually made a whole separate video about them, so I don't want to talk about forearms too much here, but just anything with wrist flexion will work your forearms. You don't want to do wrist extension because, well, you can, there's nothing wrong with it, there won't be any detriments, but training wrist extension like this is a bit pointless. Like, it won't really grow you the biggest of forearms. Instead, you want to focus on wrist flexion, work this meaty part on the inside, and forearms are very easy to grow and very quick to grow because they're already going to be trained in bicep movements. So any additional forearm work you do will only need minimal volume. Like I keep referring to, check out this video after today's one so that you can know more about forearm training. Right, next muscle that needs to be grown is the shoulders, of course. Shoulders will contribute to width. And instantly, you're probably thinking that we need to do laterals, which we do. Laterals are very helpful, but there's more to shoulders than just laterals, right? But we'll get to that more a bit later. Let me talk about the laterals first. So when it comes to lateral raises, you want to do them twice a week, minimum. And a good starting point for most people is 6 hard sets to failure of lateral raises a week. So if you're training them twice a week, do 3 sets on each day to failure. That's just a good and basic starting point for most people. If you don't take anything else from this video, just take that. 6 sets of laterals a week, 3 per training day, to failure. That's it. Now, in terms of the lateral raises, you can do any variation you want. There really is no major difference, bro. Like, there's no one particular lateral raise variation that's so much more superior to others. Like, it doesn't really matter, bro. Cables, dumbbells, laying down on the bench, like crucifix version, standing upright, like, it doesn't really matter. Just anything in which you're trying to get your arm, in which we're working in shoulder abduction. Quick cue for lateral raise training tip is, as you go through this motion, don't think about bringing your arm up. Instead, think of pushing your wrist to the wall that way. So as I'm going up like this, I'm not trying to bring my arm up. I'm trying to like almost like fist bump the wall that's over there on that side. So I'm pushing out, pushing out. That's the cue. Think of pushing out with the laterals. That's just a quick one I've learned over the years that seems to help for me. And pause them at the top. And when it comes to lateral raises, this is where we can deploy the get a pump mindset. This is where we can focus on time under tension, although it might not be, you know, the most scientifically proven method to grow, and, you know, mechanical tension is the most important thing and time under tension is important, like all this other fucking bullshit, bro. Listen, I'm just making it simple, yeah, for the regular average gym bro, probably the regular average student who wants to look good on nights out so you can get some nons and have a good physique, right? So this is where we can deploy the get the pump mindset. When it comes to lateral raises, get a pump, get some good time under tension, feel the burn in the shoulders, and you'll be good, man. That's really all you need. Now, I did say we're gonna talk about something else with the shoulders. So a lot of people forget overhead pressing for shoulders. Like, it seems like in the last couple of years, all we've been doing is lateral raises. And that's good. But if you want to do some overhead pressing, bro, go for it. If you bench twice a week, but you really love overhead pressing, then replace one of those bench sessions with overhead press, and I promise you, your shoulders will grow beautifully, man. A lot of people think that overhead press is only front delts. It is, what's the right word? Majority front delts, but it's not front delt isolation. You'll still grow the side and the rear delts with overhead pressing. So don't fear overhead pressing if that's what you're into. The next muscle on our list is upper back. Now, the upper back will make you look thick from the side. And obviously, I know you want to be thick, bro. Like, you're a thick guy, so I know you want to get thick, right? So with the upper back, our best friend here is going to be rows. You just want to do rows for the hose. But when you do these rows, you want to use a 45-degree elbow flare. And here's what I mean, right? So you don't want to row with your arm tucked by your side. Let me even drop the camera a bit lower because that will work your lats, right? So you don't want to row with your arm super close to your side. Instead, you want to be at a 45-degree angle like this. So the regular and natural arm path that you'd find in a barbell row. You can also row high like this with 90 of shoulder adduction, but that isn't necessary. Like, that will be strictly upper back. What I recommend is the 45-degree angle for rows because that will be a nice blend of upper back and the lats. And my simple rule for all my clients is don't overthink back training, just row with 45-degree for everything. And you'll be good, bro. Especially for beginners just starting out, that's what I tell them. 45-degree arm path for all rows, and it will get all your bases ticked. It will get all the boxes ticked for now And then in the future, if we need to specialize in some more lat work by keeping the arm close to the body, we can. But for the majority of people, when it comes to growing the upper back, just row with 45 degrees of elbow flare. Now with upper back work and just back training in general, the back isn't a muscle that we want to deploy a get the pump mindset on. The back can take an absolute beating. And so when it comes to training back, we want to do heavy rows with a deep stretch. And this applies for whether we're doing barbell rows, dumbbells or free weights or machines or chest supported or non-chest supported. It doesn't matter, bro. Lift heavy with a deep stretch, and I promise you, your back will love it. Like, your back will literally thank you after every session. It will literally scream at you, telling you like, thank you, bro, for making me grow. Like, this is what I love. Like, this is what I feed off. I feed off a heavy stretch at the bottom, and I feed off them good reps, clean reps, without too much body swinging. You know, I love them clean reps. That's exactly what your back will be telling you. So don't fear don't fear heavy back work with a deep stretch. The back is not a muscle we want to apply a get the pump, you know, mindset on. Low to moderate reps with heavy to moderate weight, you know, anything from like 8 reps to about 12 or 15 will be good. Now, what exercises should you do for the back? Well, it doesn't really matter what specific exercise you do, provided you're rowing with 45 degrees of elbow flare to target the upper back. But I would primarily recommend chest supported, only because chest supported rows, there's less chance for cheating and they're just a little bit less taxing on your overall fatigue system. Barbell rows, although good, right? There's nothing wrong with barbell rows. Like, I don't want to hear no bullshit about, oh, barbell rows, not chest supported, so it's not good. Everyone that says that, bro, they're just fishing for content, which I've been guilty before in it, so I don't blame them. But yeah, you get me. Free weight rows, barbell rows are totally fine, but I would just personally recommend chest supported because there's a less chance that you'll cheat, and it's easier to go to failure and get those really tough, grindy and slow reps when you're chest supported, in my experience. But like always, if you want more detail on back, just comment down below. Anything as simple as, like, you know, I'll make another back video and I'll make another back video talking about the exact protocol, exact exercises, sets, reps, etc. Now, the last muscle that I hope you look good and clothed is neck. Now, I know neck's crazy because, like, I always mention it, but you never see me train neck. So like, why do I keep banging on about it? But the thing with neck is, once you grow it once, it's incredibly easy to maintain neck gains because the neck is active in hinges. Anytime you do a hinge, like a deadlift or an RDL, your neck and your upper trap muscles, they're all contracting, which I know you probably never thought about it before, but it's true. And some people, matter of fact, well, everyone basically, sees a little bit of neck growth just from doing deadlifts and just from doing hinges. And so if you train your neck once, and by once I mean like not one time, but like if you train it for one period of time, so like let's say 3 months, the gains you make from neck will likely maintain just from you doing hinges. And so when it comes to neck training, the neck grows quick, it maintains from non-direct neck work, and you can grow it with more pump type work. Unlike the back, I wouldn't recommend loading up the neck heavy. Instead, chase the pump when you come to do neck work. So things like 3 sets of 10 neck curls on the edge of your bed, or with a beanie on in the gym, or 3 sets of 15, things like that will be good. Right, who's calling my line? That call kind of did disrupt shit. I haven't missed any important points, but I don't think I have. So you lot let me know what you thought of this video. These are the muscle groups that I think are essential for looking good in everyday clothes and for going out on nights out. And these are the muscle groups I hope you get some more bitches when you go out, yeah? So train these, you'll get success, you'll find success with looking better and just having a more well-rounded physique. Let me know what you thought of this video. If you're interested in any coaching or you just want to chat to me for completely free, I'm not going to charge for my time. Like, who am I to charge for my time? Like, come on, man. I'm not a celebrity, bro. I'm fucking charging £100 for a phone call. Like, no. If you want to chat to me on a free call, just click the link down below. We can book a call together and I'll help you with anything gym related, non-gym related, anything you're interested in. Let me know what you thought of this video and I'll catch you lot in the next one in a bit.